Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning. I guess I feel a little Irish this morning. I don't know if that's the accent gave it away. Top of the morning to y'all. Anyway, I'm going to just screen capture this. This is interesting and curious. And I don't know what's going on. I'm going to show you this. I got some inbox message or message under my last video by a guy called Bill Hicks. I'll go a little further on this. There's one message at 10:53 in the evening. There's another one at just before that at 7:15 in the evening, after I posted this video here. And I was looking. I responded to this fellow, and here's the. See, I'm gonna refresh. It's there. It is, and I'm looking for this reply. And for some reason it doesn't appear. I don't know what that means. Now, why is that? Because I really liked, well, I shouldn't say liked, but I responded to this guy. I think it's an attack dog who circulates. I've seen him before on my channel, but in his comments here, as you see the first one, he accuses me of something that he himself is doing. And I assure you, I don't believe that anything I say will change a person's mind. It's not how it works. This is not how our social, mental, intellectual, emotional heart structure works. Listening to somebody say something and changing because of it. We may alter ourselves in a, I don't know how that works, in a sort of temporary sense, but unless something is really heartfelt, it doesn't really make any difference to us. Fundamentally, I don't think words really have that kind of a effect that we change our lives because of it. So anyway, he's attacking me on having called out, in my opinion, this Bourdain guy is highly publicized, and he is in the public domain. So he is fair game for people to look and say, this is what I perceive. And in my worldview, which I'm not going to be able to convince you of anyway, Billy Hicks. By the way, isn't that Alex Jones' supposed real name? And it's a fake account anyway. But I thought I'd reply because they endear themselves through seeming plausible or rational or whatever, this kind of attitude. But you can always see, they expose themselves with their vulgarity, right? So holy shit, you're a bigger fucking loser than I thought. And you know, you can read this for yourself. He says that Bourdain spoke out on behalf of some of the vulnerable Gaza absolute concentration camp by the Zionist organization who is running the show in the Middle East and probably in a lot of other places as well. So he spoke out, and I said, good for him, good for him. But the fact that this is the anomaly, here's one message, here's the other one, you can read this as well. He responded to me after I said, don't give me a lecture on how I should feel about people in the public domain. I can have my opinion about anybody that's out there. And he represents to me exactly what I've been saying about a culture of death that is represented by these icons, these front people. And then do you see how I don't think this is a real person in that way, this Hicks guy, but people he is promoting something within the public consciousness that's out there. And that is, keep your eyeball on all the stories and narratives that are presented to you through a medium that we know that our great leader Trump, or not my leader, but the leader of the free world, has called it fake. So it's only fake when it's suitable, but everywhere else, CNN is, well, Trump has called CNN fake directly. But all the media, Hollywood, PR firm operations out there to keep us in their headlights is working really well with people like this Bourdain. That's all I said. And as a human being, I don't wish anyone ill. Like I also said, he obviously ignores that. But I'm not going to back down in my worldview that I understand unless somebody can show me otherwise. We're being hoodwinked. We're being led down the garden path with all these people. And isn't it curious how much a person can adore and love someone and they don't even know them? I mean, Bill Hicks, you don't even know this guy. Is he a personal friend? You have breakfast every other day or every week or once a month. You don't even know this person. And all of a sudden, He's defensible. He's someone you'll stick your neck out for, and you don't even know them. Well, that's the idea. Everyone has jumped on this Bourdain wagon, and you haven't heard a single story that represents in the mainstream, I'm talking about out there in the big picture, about this incredible event that has occurred, that's Fukushima. So Bill Hicks says, oh, I came to your channel because I wanted to hear about Fukushima. Well, you can hear about Fukushima from a lot of alternative channels, but I have related the affliction that we face as a species to something that is even more fundamental, and that is people caught in the headlights of the stories that don't matter. So everybody comes out on this guy and feels justified in criticizing, and I'm just posting this for two reasons. One is I responded and it's gone. I can't see my comment on my channel. I can't see this fellow's comment. And I do believe he's one of the attack dogs that is still out there. They have reduced themselves quite a bit, actually. They're not as, let's see. Oh, Bill didn't even give me a thumbs down. Look at that. I don't have a thumbs down. Bill, you forgot to give me a thumbs down. So that's a little curious. Maybe is not part of the pack, the wolf pack that has been rummaging through my China shop on my channel. But the point that I'm trying to make, number one, is I'm not going to change your opinion on anything that I say. It's what you do that matters. And from the point of view that a YouTube channel has significance, I believe it to be important to create an opposition. We need to psychologically, emotionally, heartfelt opposition to something, as I say, that doesn't work. And people that propagate or are propagated by a system that is fundamentally committed to keeping us off the main story. Always the Kim Donald little sideshow now. The subplot is increasing its value, and there is a reason for it, and there is significance to it, but not from my point of view, in that we are always in their headlights. And that's all I'm saying. So jump on this Bourdain wagon, one of your favorites, one of your go-to friends that you have, your virtual friends that have no significance in your life other than you see them on a digital screen somewhere, and defend them. Go ahead, defend them. And I will defend someone on a digital screen that actually does make a difference, like someone who steps out and says, we're being pummeled by lethal toxic radiation and all the other suspects that are out there and facts that are out there. I will defend people who defend me. And as a final note, I just want to say that, like, in terms of the feeling that I have about my connection with people, if I differ in opinion from your opinion, the most important thing to me isn't your opinion, but whether you're my friend. And as a friend, you're 100% in. We can have disagreements on issues, but that you're fundamentally 100% in. And how can you be 100% in unless you have a real connection with another person? If you know what I'm saying, I think this applies here. So I just thought I'd follow up, and I'm curious why this doesn't show up. Obviously in my inbox, in my email inbox, the message is there from this Hicks guy, but on my channel, it's not there. It's not there. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway. This is an on-camera follow-up to the Bill Hicks incident that doesn't seem to appear anymore on my channel. I was actually noodling about my last video to some extent because to deal with a subject, especially a person that died, is a sensitive issue. And I can understand the offense that may have occurred in me calling someone out, even though I didn't even know he existed on the planet. But of course, my whole view on this, my world view on this, is that the world we exist in is not what it appears to be. So if we're all caught up in some kind of an appearance, well, it's up to people like myself and others who are out there doing exactly the same thing to try and present a story other than their story. That's really all I'm saying. Now, the offensive part for me in this isn't the fact that this person was or wasn't a good person, but that a personality that has no significance to you or me other than some level of entertainment becomes the worship, the source for our worship. This is offensive to me, when in fact real people are suffering and dying. From my dreaded red, the Shiva Fukushima rampaging through our China shop, along with all the other usual suspects, the dreaded red, the dreaded Fukushima red. And the offense for me is the real offense far outstrips anything that I could come up with. And of course, this Hicks character, the comedian that turned into Alex Jones and does a disappearing act on my YouTube channel, is part of this thing to create to create unbalances in us. This is the objective in what it is that I'm talking about. So it's quite good. I mean, it may appear again, I don't know whether it's a computer glitch or something, but I just thought I'd follow up on this and just highlight, in case it wasn't perfectly clear, and as I am accused to be too angry. You're bloody right, I'm angry. If we're being hoodwinked continuously on all levels, but more importantly, that it's working. The subterfuge is actually working perfectly, because no one gives a shit, even though this Hicks, this imbecile, says that, oh, I wanted to hear about Fukushima. I talk about Fukushima, but in the sense that we are connected to this catastrophe in a fundamental level in terms of our own behavior. And it's absolutely perfectly right to feel angry about what has happened and what's happening, and people that are contributing to our own undoing with their spectacle. That's what I was saying. So I just thought I'd follow up. I always lose. Why do I lose this? You said the reason it's black and red, the nuclear industry make it yellow and black. And I find that to be so offensive too, because yellow is one of the most vibrant, beautiful, and most difficult colors to paint in the spectrum. So I'm particularly pissed off that they got away with it. And in front of my sculpt paintings, actually they're free radicals. They're not just me, there's someone else involved in the free radical work. Anyway, I'll be in a show again on the 28th. I'll alert people to the show. I'll be in it, and free radical work will be in it, and continuously working on some level in my brain to undermine the conformity and the complicity, even in terms of words. I think, I'm not 100%, but I think it's important to create a language, that transfers this understanding that we can't continue to work or to try and pretend, or to pretend something that doesn't work and keep on doing the same thing over and over again, because it's going to end, you know exactly where it's going. And that's this imbecile Hicks who's trying to confront me and give me a lecture on I'm not allowed to have an opinion about somebody in the public domain, somebody who's out there presenting themselves. And I really don't care whether this guy, the reason I didn't know about him is because he's fundamentally insignificant. Even if he has spoken up to some extent, he's still promoted by the beast. The beast out there put him on a paycheck, and he's following. And the idea, actually, I'll just finish this off. The idea, I had the original title as Raping the World with Our Experiences, but I didn't want to do like a clickbait rape and all of this. And I didn't call him a rapist. I said in the generic sense, the idea of making the world our oyster through our experience is the problem that we have. We're not stepping back to say, who am I? What am I? What makes me work? Is it because I go bungee jumping and have the thrill of my life? Is that what it's all about? That's what I'm saying. I suppose I had to clarify that because it was there was a reasonable, you see, it's like with these attack dogs, there there is like I said, they're vulgar. They expose themselves right away, but there is a reasonable thought process. It's not just an ordinary attack dog coming out and saying, you asshole, you prick, you bad, you mother, whatever. It's actually like, instilling in people maybe a little bit of a doubt that I'm too angry to have an opinion. Okay.